Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are wanting to learn how to make a jumpsuit with a wide leg pants, then this tutorial is for you. So I'll be using this paper to explain how to make a jumpsuit instead of an actual fabric. This is the length of the upper piece. So this is from the shoulder to the waistline. So if you're working on an actual fabric, just follow the measurement that I'll be giving here. I'm going to measure out 2 inches from this part, which is the center front. This is the center front of the front upper piece. I'm going to rule out 2 inches. So we are going to assume this is 2 inches. And if you're working on your fabric, you'll be making use of a measuring tape. So after measuring out these 2 inches, I'm going to break these 2 inches down into 3. The first one will be 0.5 inch. The second one, which is the middle one, will be 1 inch. And then the third one here, which is the one close to the center front, will also be 0.5 inch. After breaking this down, I'm going to tell you what each part means. Remember, this jumpsuit has a shirt design at the upper part, so that is what we are working on here. So this part that is close to the center front is your seam allowance. This part is the facing, the one that I left 1 inch space for is the facing. Then the first 0.5 inch is your button stand. After that, I'll go ahead to measure the neck. So this is the neckline. So for the neck width, I used 2.5, and for the neck depth, I used 2.8 inches. Now you can alter these neck measurements depending on your neck circumference. The next is the shoulder slope. Before we take the shoulder slope, we need to get the shoulder measurements, which is 7.5. So I won't be measuring from this end. I'll take my measurement from here. This line here. This is where I'm going to take all my measurement from. So from here to this place, I'm going to measure 7.5. Then from this point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, which is for the shoulder slope, and then I'll connect to my neckline. I'm going to measure down my armhole depth. So the armhole depth that I'll be using is 7.5. So I'm going to measure the armhole depth here. I will measure the bust circumference divided by 4. From the same point, I'll measure to this place. Then at this part, which is the armhole depth, I'll divide this by 2 to get the midpoint. And then I'm going to come out by 0.5. From this point here, which is your bust circumference, I'm just going to connect with the curved line to meet this point here and also this part. Then I'll come to the waistline and I'll measure the waist circumference divided by 4. So let's say this is it. I'm just going to connect with a straight line. When I made this jumpsuit, I didn't add any darts to it. But if you'll be adding the darts to it, then after dividing your waist measurement by 4, you add 1 inch to it. So let's assume your waist measurement is 32. When you divide it by 4, it will give you 8. So you're not going to mark 8 here. You add 1 to 8, that's 9. You're going to measure 9 here, so that by the time you use up 1 inch for your darts, you'll be left with 8 inches. This neck depth, I'm just going to connect this to my button stand only. So I'll extend this neck depth line to the button stand. I'm going to go ahead and trim this out. So you see where I'm cutting from. Also, at this part, if you want to take your dart measurement, it's fine. If you want to take your dart measurement, you measure from the shoulder to your bust point. So you measure from your shoulder to your bust point. So let's say your measurement is here. You just draw a straight line here to outline where your bust points is you come down by 2 inches, or you measure your front length and your back length to see the difference. So whatever result you get, that is what you should mark out here. So let's say it is 2 inches, you mark 2 inches out here. So this is for the bust dart. This is the back piece. When measuring out the back piece, you won't be needing these 2 inches. So that's why I folded this in. So you just place this over it, or if you want to measure out your back piece separately, it's fine. Then I'm just going to mark out what I need. And this is the shoulder slope. The neck depth, I'm going to come down by 1 inch here, and then connect this. Remember, we removed our bust dart here, so I'm just going to place this on the back piece. Like if I was working with a measuring tape, I would have just measured it out, and I just want to remove this dart that I measured here. I'll be taking it off from the back part. So at the end of the day, both the front and the back piece would have the same length. This is all for the upper part. Next, we'll move to the pants. If you look at the picture of the jumpsuit that was displayed earlier in this video, realize the pants is actually very wide. So I added some extra inches to it. First of all, I measured out 5 inches on the side. When working with your fabric, it should be on fold. This is the side here. Next, I'm going to measure my hip measurements divided by 4. Let's say your hip is 44. When you divide it by 4, it's going to give you 11. So you're going to mark 11 here. So let's assume this is 11. Okay, we're just assuming, right? So let's assume this is 11. So this is the hip measurements that I've measured to the bottom of the pants, which is 11 inches. Then I'm going to take my crotch depth. For you to get your crotch depth, let's say you didn't measure that, you divide your hip by 4 and then you take 1 from it. So 44 divided by 4 is 11 minus 1, that gives 10. So let's say this is 10. That's for female, if you're making a female pants. If it's for a male, you don't have to minus 1, you leave it at 11. So this is 1 again. I'm going to take my waist measurements. Let's say the waist is 32 divided by 4, that's 8. I didn't use that as well, but if you're making yours, you can add it where I explained to you when making the upper piece. You can add your 1 inch to it. So I'll measure my waist from this point here. So let's say this is 8 here. So you see the way I'm marking this. Then at this crotch depth, I'm going to measure my thigh. So let me quickly roll this out so you understand. I'm going to measure my thigh circumference here. So when dividing the thigh circumference, you divide by 2. So this is the thigh measurement here. I'm using a curved line to connect this point to meet with this line here. This is the thigh measurement here. Then I'm going to measure my 5 inches. What I add here, I'm going to add to this part as well. So let's say this is the 5 inches, right? Then from this thigh here, I'm going to use a straight line to connect to meet with this point here. Then from this part, I'm going to connect from the waist here to meet with this. So I could start off with a slight curve because of the hip area. Then I'm just going to pick it from there. I'm going to take out 1 inch allowance here from this waist to this part here. This is your seam. Now come to the waistline here. At this part, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, okay? Because of how the human waist is like. At the front, it has this curvy line at the front, so that is what we are trying to achieve here. Then I will use a slice cup to connect this point to this point. I'm cutting this off now. I'll quickly show you how to make the back area. Follow this method when you are making use of your fabric. Discover it's very easy to put all of these together. I've placed the front one over the back part, as you can see. Then I'll quickly outline the areas that I need. Remember, this part already has the allowance from the front, so I'll be adding another here. Then at the tie region here for the back, I'm going to extend this part by 2.5 inches. I'll be extending this part by 2.5 inches. So that is that. So these 2.5 inches I added here, I would do the same here. Remember, I removed 1 inch from the front part. So let's say this is the 1 inch here for the front part. Like, I haven't cut this out. Then, like, this is the original measurements. Alright. Then from this part, I'm going to go up by 1.5 inch or 2 inches. So let me go up by 1.5 inches. So for the back, I went up by 1.5 inches from my original measurements. Then from the front, I went down by 1 inch from my original measurements. And I'm just going to connect this. So you see what it's like. Let me go ahead and cut this out. But please, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd like you to do that right now. Kindly give a thumbs up to this video, share this video, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell so you get updated whenever I post new videos like this. Now this is back. I'll have some excess at the waist here for this upper part. You see, that is why. That's because I didn't use a measuring tape. I will cut this out. Yes, let me cut it off. By the time this is folded in, like I explained to you, the same first, fold the same in, right? And then the allowance will be inside this way. That's for your button, your shirt button. You look this way. So this is where you place your buttons. So you should have your buttons here. Then this is the waistband. And this is the waistband. That's for the front, and this is for the back. You can see what we have here. This is the front part, and this is the back part. Look at the band. If you're making yours, your band should be on fold. Remember, before folding this, you have to add your gum stay to this to give it a firm hold before you fold. And after folding, you can trim this off. Next, I will be showing you the collar. We have the collar here. That's for the neck. So this will be the base, and this will be the fore. If you want to know how to make this collar out of the measurements that are necessary when making the collar, the link will be dropped in the description below. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share, and turn on the notification bell. See you in the next video.